we are back for another episode. Honestly, I think it is so crazy that we are almost to the end of the season. We ain't done yet, y'all. Like, don't this ain't like the season finale. Like, don't get on here like they really ended. They just started. No. We have a whole plethora of things planned. Like, y'all, we ain't gonna spoil it, but we really been working. Like these past couple weeks, we have been working, finagling, scheduling. Like, I think these next couple episodes leading up to the season finale are going to be dope. Like, I truly think, and y'all know, we stay manifesting. So we've been manifesting, we've been lighting candles, we've been having our rocks and sage, and all I gotta say is greatness is coming.
I totally agree. Season 1 has been amazing. So it's only going to get better from here. Season 2, like he says, we have great guests that's going to be coming on, great conversation topics. So unapologetic conversations with the Colemans it's just going to continue to get better and greater each season. But season 1 has started off like a good foundation where you guys are able to understand us, understand our topics. So just continue to stay in, continue to grow, like, follow, and subscribe, and listen to Unapologetic Conversations on all streaming platforms.
Yes, and if you are watching this on YouTube, because, sometimes you're a visual person. You like to see, like, visual cues. I'm like that. I'm a visual learner, Shout out to all the visual people out there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. Just because, the YouTube algorithm, come on say, is not perfect. And it's not kind to fresh meat. So also, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell icon because you will never miss an episode. Like, YouTube will send you personal notifications being like, hey, yo, they just dropped the episode. You trying to click on this link? Like, you know what I mean? So this goes all in favor.
Is that how they say it?
Well, I may have put my own little spin on it. But YouTube, if you're watching this and you like, if you want me to be a programmer, I'll change my major to computer programming. Like, if you try to offer me a job. But just a little self promo there. But anyways, let's kick off this episode. Dear sister, would you like to go ahead and be first?
Yes, dear brother. As you guys know, or if you don't know, because this is your first episode, I am your co-host, Dr. E.
And I am Donald Coleman, and this is Unapologetic Conversations with the Colemans.
Yes. Don't y'all see this in my background?
Yeah. See, okay. She's a little fancy. She was just like, I want to up and get a background. And y'all know I like my little background. I got my Black Lives Matter tapestry up here. And I think I created a nice little aesthetic. Like, this is my corner with my ring light and all my little equipment and gadgets. So she just had to go and be high tech on this. Meanwhile, some of us are still in the Stone Age. So,
So what's going on, Donna? What we about to get into today?
Yes, let's kick off today's show with, of course, what coffee are we drinking today? Even though it is like 5:23 right now.
It really is.
It's never too early, never too late. Well, if you're not pulling an all-nighter, I suggest cutting off the caffeine at 10 p.m. Because you will be up like a June bug. But for me,
I would say like at least by 7. If you're not trying to be up all night, you need to stop with the caffeine consumption, or you're gonna be wired.
I think it just really depends on how, like, if you are not a coffee drinker, I would say 7. Just because if you are like, you don't consume caffeine a lot, your body's not used to it, so it's not used to processing it at like a higher rate. So you will be wired for a minute. But if you are like a regular coffee connoisseur, then your body's just like, all right, and it's not hitting different. So, we can process it a little bit better. So you know yourself, you know your body, but it's 2021. We finna let everyone be great.
Yeah, shout out to all the coffee addicts out there. Okay, because that's exactly what it is.
I wouldn't call us addicts. I would say we're just, coffee enthusiasts. You know what I
In
mean?
the event that you drink caffeine every day, and if you miss a day and you get headaches, you are officially, say it with me, people, a coffee addict. And that's okay. Okay. I get it. That happens.
And y'all, this is coming from the psychologist. So I
Yeah.
mean, if she's saying that, I think we may be addicts, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's form a coffee AA. Like, just let's get together and just work on ourselves. You know what I mean? So besides all that talk, we're gonna go with me today on what I'm drinking. So I am, y'all know, okay. I love Starbucks. Don't get me wrong. However, sometimes I like to spice things up. There's this local coffee shop near my house called Sweetwater Cafe. It's coffee and tea. So today I'm drinking a Dragon's Eye coffee, and this is a triple. If you're watching this, like the logo is very nice.
It's cute. It's very
And
creative.
so, it's an Asian themed coffee shop. So I think that's why the logo is like that. So I'm drinking a Dragon Eye latte, I believe, and I also added cane sugar, and also comes with condensed milk. I do put so I came home and I have raw sugar at home. Just because raw sugar hits a little bit different than like white sugar. I don't know why. For some reason, it just doesn't do it for me. Like that, like in the raw sugar, oh, that hit different. So I'm drinking this today, and it has a kick. I think that's why it's called Dragon's Eye. I slowly had to I was taking my sips, and my body was just like, oh, this built different. This is gonna get you. So I think this will be good for midterm season. For if you in college, you already know midterm season is coming up. Yes, I know y'all out there listening. This will be very good to get you through them long study sessions. I know I'm in for a little bit of a long one tonight, but this week we just gotta grind it out. So I would definitely recommend getting this. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I used to drink when I was studying and doing all the amazing things for academia purposes, Vietnamese coffee. Even when you get a large, they only put probably this much in a cup if you guys are watching, very small amounts in the cup if you're listening, because it is such a potent caffeine strand. So if you guys are close to any Vietnamese coffee shops, try it out. But today, what I am drinking, as you guys probably already know, shouts out to Starbucks. This is a venti dark roast. Say it with me, people. 2 pumps of peppermint and 4 raw sugar. Shouts out to all my Starbucks drinkers. I do use the app. So I wanted to let you guys know this week, in the event that you have the Starbucks app, if you go today and then tomorrow, they're giving double the points. So always load your Starbucks app, pay for your Starbucks through the app so that you can get points. When you get up to a certain amount of points, Donald, I have gotten free Starbucks cups, free protein boxes, K-cups where I can make my own Starbucks at home. Or sometimes I'll get a venti dark roast, 2 pumps of peppermint, 4 raw sugar, and I'll get like some extras, added in there, but some little shots, But please use the Starbucks app in the event that you guys are going to Starbucks, because you get some free amazing things. But that's what I'm drinking today.
Yeah, just 2 things. One, it's real with her, y'all. If she's using the Starbucks app, I'll admit, I've used the Starbucks app before. I remember, short little story. I was on a trip. I was going to a state competition, and in the hotel they put us in, y'all, that hotel was so nice. It was in Grand Rapids. I miss it. But their Starbucks was so good. And I remember I had the app because I remember I had got a Starbucks gift card, I think, for my birthday. Okay. And if you have the cards, those are, I think, reloadable. So yeah, I believe so. You can go in the store if you don't feel comfortable reloading them through the app. You can go in the store and they can reload those cards for you. So I remember I had the gift card, and I had already scanned it into my phone. So that's how I know all about paying with the app. I'm not a Starbucks
Guru.
fanatic, as one would say.
Guru.
No shade or anything to my sister. Anybody else.
Guru. No shade, no tea, no palm tree. I am a Starbucks guru. Okay. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, guru. Honestly, I think you should put that in your IG bio. I think that would be a brand for you. I think that will work for you. She's trademarked that. Y'all, she's trademarked it. It's taken. It's gone.
Let me go do that now.
And second of all, I think when you said that Vietnamese coffee, I don't think I've ever had Vietnamese coffee. I know the place that I go to, they make Vietnamese coffee, so I'll have to definitely try it when I go back. But also Mexican, Colombian coffee.
Yeah, Colombian is my favorite.
Colombian is so smooth, but also has a lot of caffeine in it. Like, you only need to add a couple of sugars in it. That's it. Like, it will.
And you really don't even need that.
Yeah, I remember like I was pulling, an all-nighter, as one undergraduate STEM student does. And I have it's over there. I'll probably post it on Instagram what brand it is, but it's this Mexican coffee, like in this espresso style. And I use my K-cup machine, and y'all know I brew it strong now. I gotta brew my coffee strong, because any other setting, it just don't hit right. You gotta get all the coffee into, like, it's gotta be concentrated. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I put my favorite, almond milk creamer in there. I was in heaven. I was like, if they serving this up in heaven, I will gladly go up, because sign me up, because that coffee, like, it just hits different. Like, and I didn't know that. Because growing up, I say that very loosely. Growing up, I was always just simple Maxwell Coffee House kind of guy. But I expanded my taste palette. So
good for you, brother. The first time I actually, and this is gonna sound like real bougie, but follow me. The first time I've ever had Colombian coffee, this was back when I became an international flight attendant, and my first ever flight was to Bogota, Colombia. Mm-hmm. And so I did have that coffee, and I was drinking it just like some straight up Folgers, thinking I was just having my little instant Folger. So I'm downing it, and I end up having 2 cups. And I'm telling you, I didn't need coffee for the next 48 hours. It had me literally wired and up, because like you said, it's very smooth, but it's potent. So when it hits the bloodstream, you're going to feel it. So, just shouts out to Colombia, shouts out to Bogota. And if you guys are listening, you guys do have some amazing coffee. I agree.
Yes, amazing coffee. Honestly, I don't think most undergraduates would make it without that. I think we will crash and burn, because that coffee honestly will get you through whatever you need to get through. Honestly, truly. And I will put my personal signage off on that one. It will get you right. So moving on from our little coffee segment, y'all know we always have to get into it. We are going next to what tools and techniques did you use this week to better yourself? So this is all of my sister. Y'all know this is her time to shine. So I'm gonna give it to her.
Thank you. So before I came on with Donald and I were having a sidebar conversation. And so this week for me, one of the main things that I had to enforce, just for self-care purposes, just for positive mindset and positive reactionatorial purposes, was boundaries. So we always talk about how we have boundaries for other people, and we're not going to let people infringe on our boundaries. And that sounds good, right? Until you have to practice those boundaries with people that you love and care about. So for me personally, it's I don't think overall I'm a people person, but when it comes to people that I love and I care about, and I just want the well-being for them to always just be in alignment of whatever they deem to be making them happy, I'm going to go all out for them. So I understand for all my people that's out there and they're like, that's me. I get it. But over the years of giving in that capacity, you learn how that makes you feel. And now I'm going to go back and speak from an I perspective. For me, I have boundaries with people in all different capacities that they feel in my life, because in the event that I don't, it's draining to me, because I would be the type of person, if I love you and I care about you, even if you are ungrateful, I'm still going to pour and pour into you, to the fact that if I'm at an event, I'm not having a good time because I'm so concerned if the other person is having a good time, or if this event is meeting their expectations, or I could have other things planned in my day. But if this person is around, I want to make sure that this person has a great day. So I don't factor in my plans or my schedule, my agenda. So this week, for all terms of the meaning and definition of boundaries, I practiced it. And I had to practice it on people that I love genuinely and care about. But I had to do it for one, I'm setting up a healthier Ebony in 2021. And I'm speaking to myself in more positive ways. I am feeding myself positive affirmations on a regular. And in order to be on this spiritual diet of positivity,
I
right?
like that spiritual diet. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was just like, I like
Yes.
that. I'm gonna rewatch this and I'm gonna take notes.
Make sure you do. In order to be on this diet that I am on, baby, not only am I eating well, not only am I envisioning my future in a positive aspect, but I am practicing what I am preaching to others. So this week, that's what I did. I set the boundary that I was going to go out and I was going to have a good time with people, of course, people that I love and I care about, but I was going to make sure that I did it on my terms. I was going to make sure that when I go to an event, it's because I want to go, not because I'm forced to go. Or when I go to an event, I'm going to have my own transportation. I'm not going to be riding with people, buddied up. No, they can get an Uber or a Lyft. And I am going to be able to say when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I'm going to make sure that if I have things planned on my agenda, I will try to fit them in, but I'm not just going to negate away from the things that I have in store for my life, because at the end of the day, I still have to do things to keep me balanced. I was so proud of myself because I did it. And not only did I do it, I was able to still fit in a workout. I was able to still sit in the sauna. You guys know I like to sit in the sauna for at least like 30 to 40 minutes. I meditate and I talk to my higher power, which is God Himself. And I was able to do all of that and still make it to record the podcast today. So I say all that to say, always do things that is fitting to your boundaries. Align your interactions with others to make sure that, yes, you are there and you are present for others because you love and care about them, but that you always show up for yourself too. So those are my tools and techniques for the week.
Yes, boundaries. I think, just building off that real quick, because y'all know this ain't my segment, but I've been chipping in from time to time.
That's okay.
I think boundaries are so important, and we talk about boundaries. We think in a sense maybe like in our relationships, or our love life, or maybe our professional life. But also we need to talk about boundaries in the sense of maybe you need to learn how to practice self-restraint, right? I think things that you may overindulge in, or things that maybe you need to delve a little bit more deeper into, like for example having a good work-life balance. I think that's a good way to start practicing boundaries, because you don't want your personal life to overlap with your professional life, but also you don't want your professional life to overlap into your personal life. I think um, we just need to start expanding more, I should say, on the ideas of what are your personal boundaries? What are my personal boundaries? What are things that I want to keep separate, and what are things that I think should merge? You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely I challenge everyone who is listening to this week. First, I think about what it is that in your own personal life, what are you doing to practice a healthy boundary with the things that,
X.
whether it be in your personal life, your relationships, your work, what are things that you are actively doing that is keeping that boundaries? And if you aren't doing things, think of ways that you could potentially limit those things from intersecting, intertwining. Because definitely in the world of mental health, boundaries is so important because boundary is kind of what set the limit for certain things. And what I mean by set the limit is what is the line that you don't want to cross? Because when you cross that line, now your self care is deteriorating, your mental health is deteriorating, and at some points, maybe even your physical health. So, yeah, definitely boundaries. Powerful thing. I think it was so great that you brought that up this week.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, y'all know she always coming in with the gems.
Jewel
Can't even
dropper.
take can't even take that one away from her. So moving on to our next little segment of the week is Stone of the Week. And y'all be ready. If you're watching this on YouTube, be ready at the amazement that is of a business. If y'all can see it. It's so
I feel like
pretty.
we should have some music right now that just goes, oh.
Right, like the Heavenly Gate music. I wish we had that, but we don't have it. So we're on a
Got to
budget
get
now.
our budget up. We got to get our podcast budget up.
Right, we got season 2, baby. Season 2. This week's stone, bismuth, is a very good stone. First of all, it is a great stone to work with all chakra points. That's what I think one of the one things I love about it. Your chakra balance is all disaligned, closed off. Having a bismuth definitely will help start to open up all chakra paths, which I think in itself is beautiful. But also, bismuth is very good for if you're going through drastic changes in your life right now, like any big transformations. Maybe you're in the middle of switching jobs. Maybe you're doing a midlife career change, or maybe you're moving into that bigger house, or you just got that first apartment, or whatever that change may be. Having a bismuth is very good. It helps aid in bigger transitions. They make transitions more smoothly. Bismuth is also very good. It's a protective stone, by the way. That's another great property about it. But also, it is very good. If you tend to suffer from like loneliness, or you feel lonely or emptiness, it's a very good stone to have to kind of negate those negative energies and feelings. Especially, this is a very good stone to have during these times as well. Because I know with everything still being virtual, there's not that many opportunities to meet up in person, to have that physical connection. Having a bismuth in your space will kind of negate some of those feelings. Because I know a lot of my friends and I, we felt a little bit alone during this quarantine because, we're also used to being together, hanging out, being in the lounge late at night, or, going out, grabbing a midnight snack, wherever that may have been. So definitely a good stone to have. Yeah.
I align with that. I know a lot of people, just speaking from the mental health aspect, that is suffering from depression, anxiety, social isolation, feeling, just isolated or ostracized from the world. So to have that stone and then align that to the mental health piece, I just want to say if anyone is out there and they are suffering from different like isolation, fears of just not being able to have that social connections with others, please get active in the Zoom space. Please get active in the Clubhouse space. Get active in places that take you out of your comfortability, right? But places you in situations that allows for you to be social, just in a different aspect. So I like that, Donald, because it's a stone of sparking creativity. All right. Like we want to be social, but we might be in fear of COVID, but it allows for us to be able to feel safe to go into these different spaces and to also get that human interaction that we so desperately need. We all need human interaction. So if you guys are worried about getting on Clubhouse, worried about joining these Zoom conversations, get you some, say it for me, Donald.
Business.
Okay. And go and transition yourself into these social settings and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because then you will be able to grow out of that mental health, depression, anxiety, or fear. So I like that. Thanks, Donald.
Yeah, that's why I think I was gonna introduce the stone much earlier, but this particular stone, I got this stone. I've had it I think about a year and some change now. And it was at my parents' house, and so I brought it here with me.
Okay.
And it's definitely, like I said, helped me through quarantine. When we were on hard lockdown, no outside, period, unless it was an emergency lockdown, especially here in Michigan. But yeah, it's a great stone to have, whatever transition you may be going through. Like I said, whether you just got that big promotion, or you're moving homes for the first time, maybe the second time, or you just ease into a new relationship, whatever it may be, it's definitely a good stone to have in your vicinity. So moving on from that, just on an unbiased note, I really love doing Stone of the Week, y'all. I think
Of course. I love it for you.
One of the coolest segments. I mean, the other segments are cool, but my segment is cool.
Every time I be hanging, thinking that you're gonna say something nice, the narcissism, it just comes out. Just
listen. I said
I accept you.
I love doing the other segments. I just like doing my segment a little bit more. I mean, there's no shame in my game.
And this is where you guys see that we're siblings. Okay, it's called sibling rivalry.
Anyway,
the competition never ends.
It's healthy competition. I think we just push each other to be great. So yeah, moving on from that, we're going to move on to your segment, Enlightenment of the Week. And I could be wrong, but I have a feeling, is Michelle Obama gonna be? Are we mentioning Michelle
I honestly was gonna give you guys a break, but of course we can. It's an honor of Black History Month. We will always acknowledge the Michelle Obama. Okay, so if you guys haven't gotten her book Becoming already, make sure you put that on your to-do list. Okay, whether it's audiobook, whether you actually go into the store to purchase it. It is a great uplifting, transitional, as you put, a transitional mindset book. So if you are going through some hard times where you're trying to figure out what's next steps for you, hard times are understanding your identity, or hard times of understanding what your boundaries are with other people, I think that in the book, Becoming Michelle Obama, really relates that back to her life and how she was able to become this phenomenal woman that she is today. But for my enlightenment of the week, I was going to switch it up today, but shouts out to Michelle. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. If you are listening to this podcast, you are always welcome to come on.
Yeah, just, listen, we manifested this in the inauguration episode, but, of course, we will always say it again, if by any chance you, Kamala Harris, Dr. Biden, Joe Biden,
yes,
if anyone is listening of that caliber, we would love to have you on the show. And we're just going to drop that into the metaphysical space. And hopefully it will reach you. But yeah, Michelle Obama, I was just kidding, girl. Like, no shade. I love hearing that, the alignment of the week, whenever it involves your book. Don't hate me. Don't crucify me. Actually, I am thinking about seriously getting the audiobook, because I am trying to get more into the audiobooks. I think for those of us, especially if you like listening to podcasts on the go, I think you would really like audiobooks, because in my time as an undergrad, books that I may not have time to read or sit down and like actually read, I have to multitask. Audiobooks will save your life. So if you're on the go, or even if you're at the gym, just pop in that audiobook and get to it.
I like to listen to mine in the grocery store. Like, before I go in the grocery store, I throw on my headphones, I get me a good juicy podcast, and I'm up every hour with my little cart listening to my podcast. I like it because, for you guys who don't know, like, sometimes in certain spaces, I have like social anxiety. So when I'm listening to podcasts, it helps me not feel as anxious and it calms me down. It puts me in like just a really thought-provoking mindset. So if you guys are out there and you suffer from any type of like social anxiety or any type of anxiety when you are out in unfamiliar territories, then try a podcast, throw on some headphones, get you a good juicy podcast, maybe this one. Shout out to Unapologetic Conversations Commons, and see if that helps when you are in social settings. So that's just
also good. Like I said, if you are multitasking, maybe your undergrad writing that paper, or you're in grad school writing that thesis. Trust me, as an undergraduate and as a now PhD holding lady, we can both definitely attest that having something like you're listening to keeps your mind focused. So yeah.
But I wanted to, before we go off this segment, I wanted to talk about this quote. It is by Dr. Mae Jemison. She was the first African-American female astronaut. And her quote states, "Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations." I'm going to say that once again.
I like that.
Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. So from my perspective, what I take away from that is if you're sharing your dreams, goals, aspirations with people that don't see your vision, don't think that your vision is not attainable. Just understand that people can only pour into you what they have. So if they don't have the ambition to be out and being able to achieve what it is that you need, that is their path, not your own. Still go after your goals. They are attainable. You can succeed in whatever you put your mind to. So
yeah, just to add on that, because that was a really good quote. My God, I need to find that and put that on a wall somewhere.
yeah.
But I think just a quick takeaway before we get into today's topic. I think what I got from that, just off the top of my head, is like you said, or well, also like you said, but I think one thing I remember seeing on Instagram is not everyone is going to accept your energy. Learn how to deal with it and move forward. And I align those two together perfectly, because I think what your vision may be, not everyone's going to understand that. And I think that's perfectly okay, because not everyone is going to see the world in the lens of you. And I think it's so important that the sooner you can grasp that concept, the sooner that you can move forward, whatever it is you're trying to do, whether that is start a small business or start a podcast or start a merch brand, or maybe you're just stuck in this dead end job. Maybe you want to go back to school and go to get a master's degree, get another bachelor's degree, go get that PhD or that MD or that JD. Like, I think it is just so important that you not give up on yourself just because someone else doesn't see what you see. Because we're not looking, if we all looked in the lens of each other, the world would be so boring.
Yeah, it's very vanilla.
So boring. It would be so vanilla, so just basic. So yeah, follow your dreams. Definitely, no matter what comes your way, it is always attainable. Like y'all starting this podcast, we definitely had our trials and tribulations.
Of
like
course.
we had times like when we were first starting the show, we were just like, how are we gonna make this work? Like, she has her business, I'm a full-time student, but here we are, 8 episodes later.
Episodes with guests, without guests, with snowstorms, with I'm tired, with all these different factors that was kind of like counteractive to us being productive, but we overcame them. We were just talking about that. If anybody is out there and you guys are on the school journey and you're feeling like you can't finish it because it's so many things going on in your personal life, or you are just on this journey, you're trying to open up your own business, maybe a private practice virtually, whatever it is, and you're feeling like it's so many things that is making you feel like you just can't do it and want to give up. You have to understand your higher power gives the most challenging roads in life to his most powerful people. So if you are feeling like you are challenged every time you level up, that's because your higher power has blessings upon blessings. You just have to be able to withstand, withhold, and believe that next level in life is because you are being challenged now. So just want to throw that out there, some words of encouragement, but never, ever stop fighting.
Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. And just before we even get into today's topic, if y'all liked hearing her little motivational speech, she is a wellness coach. So she has her own website. If you like, by the end of this episode, you're like, you know what, I want to hear more of her. She is a wellness coach. So go on her website, book your wellness consultation, and I mean, it's still early in 2021, so you got time. It's never too late to not get it together. You know what I mean? So
that is drebonycoleman.com. That's DREBONYCOLEMAN.com.
yeah, see, look, throwing in promos before we start the true episode. Look at that. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about daily affirmations and how we can take some of these wellness tips and make it affordable and accessible to everyone. So I think I'll kick us off with saying, we see on social media, I'm trying to like formulate what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We see on social media, we see all these like wellness coaches, wellness gurus, spiritual gurus, and all this and that. We see like their fancy setups. We see that they have, you know, a Peloton, or, you know, they have this dedicated space, and, you know, for their photos, and, you know, their you know, all this. We see that, but I hate stuff like that. And not to hate on anyone who, you know, if you have it, flaunt it, show it, build your brand, that's cool. But for the average person, that doesn't look like everyone's everyday life. So I think what we're going to talk about today, I think everyone can take away from this, no matter race, gender, ethnicity, whatever your situation may be. I think what we talk about today will kind of fit everyone's mold. So just going off, starting about daily affirmations. So affirmations look different to everyone. Just it's all personalized. So there's no right or wrong way to set a daily affirmation. My daily affirmations may look different from her daily affirmations to the next person's. I know you can find some online. I know you can wake up and write your own affirmations. It's whatever feels the most comfortable for you. You don't have to subscribe to some app to tell you this is your daily affirmation and you need to follow it to the T because you paid this 12-month subscription. No. I mean, I'm not even gonna talk. I use Tide, so it's an app where you can go in. You can use it for meditating. You can also use it for sleep. You can also use it as a focus timer. Whatever it is that you may be using. And they also post daily affirmations every day. And I also do have a subscription, but that doesn't mean I subscribe to their affirmations for me. You know, I wake up every day and, you know, I like to meditate. I like to clear my own space physically, metaphysically, and also spiritually, and just figure out what am I working towards today to make me a better me. So I think my first tip for anyone out there looking to start that affirmation journey is clear. Well, it's always good to clear your physical space, obviously, but just clear your metaphysical space, clear your spiritual, your mental space, and try and figure out, what do I want to do today that is going to make me a better me? And whether that be today, I want to work on my self-confidence. Today, I want to work on my self-esteem. Whatever that may look like for you, just sit down, try and find a semi-quiet place, whether it's your bedroom or maybe when you take an early morning shower or a bath, whatever that looks like for you. Just clear your space and just think to yourself, what am I going to do to make me a better me?
I like that. I like that. And I liked in the beginning when you were talking about how on social media, everybody just looks like they have it all together, right? Like you said, they have like this nice little space with the picture frames in the background, the yoga mat that matches the aesthetic. Like
Mhm.
it looks so good. When in actuality, like I have millions of degrees that's packed away. I probably have like my little tabletop that I put my laptop on. I clear that off to write in my journal. Like nothing is always is put together as it seems. So wherever you are on finding your spiritual alignment or finding how to get to daily affirmations, it doesn't always have to look pretty. It just needs to happen, right? So I just want to start there. For me, daily affirmations has taken on a new kind of forum. And I stress on the fact for me, because my 2021 affirmation for Ebony is that I wanted to make sure I was speaking to myself in the most highest form of self love. So that's what I wanted to give to myself. So what I did was I downloaded the Holy Bible app because yes, I'm Baptist. That's my spiritual alignment, right? And I have started from the beginning of the Bible, and I'm every day, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, majority of the times, it's kind of like we do our podcast, I'm resting, I'm out socializing. But Monday through Friday, the first thing that I do in the morning is that I go on my Holy Bible app and I pick out different verses and I write it out, different scriptures, I put them out and I align them in my life in certain things that I'm going through. After I write out the scripture, I read it back to myself, I pray about it, I allow for my higher power to speak to me in that moment, whatever that looks like, and then I move on. I found this actually, I think Lexi got this for me one Christmas. It's an owl book, just like a notebook that I got from Barnes and Noble. I think that's where she got it from. And I love it because the owl is always a representation in many cultures of wisdom.
Mhm.
So every time that I clear out my space and I go into this daily affirmation alignment, I have my notebook and I'm writing it out, and it just makes me feel like I'm doing something for my self care. And I keep saying I and me because that's how I have personalized my daily affirmation. And literally, I'm like sitting on my sofa doing it, or I'm in my bed, or sometimes I bring it with me and I might go to a coffee shop. I'm here in Georgia, so our coffee houses are open and I write it there. But whatever you do for your daily affirmation, you have to be willing to make it personalized for feeding you. Everybody's daily affirmation, as Donald stated, is going to look different. But what you have to realize is it has to be something that's aligned to making you feel whole, making you feel like you set aside time to self love on you that day. So I just really wanted to stress that because I thought that was a really good point when you talked about everybody making it look good, but at the end of the day, everybody that's not on social media making it look good, it looks chaotic. Most people's are chaotic, but when we are on social media, of course, people are only going to dictate and put up their highlights of life. But at the end of the day, you have to do what works for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just being on social media, as someone who's now a content creator, and I use that term very loosely,
Yeah.
someone who is now on the spectrum of social media on a more business aspect of it, now I kind of see through that because as someone who's a consumer,
Yeah.
before, the podcast and before, doing these other business ventures, I look at some of these like, spiritual, like Instagram influencers and, yoga and like wellness influencers. And it's just like, you're not really, and again, no shade. This is
Right.
not to be, disrespectful to anyone's brand, but that is not portraying the image of what real wellness and self-care looks like. Not everyone's gonna have a corner where it's full of succulents, and you're not gonna have that corner greenery, and you're not going to have that space where you can, see like the city skyline, and you get to meditate on the day's events with, a cup of a peppermint, I don't even know, like a peppermint mocha from Starbucks you got from your high rise. Like, that's just not the average person. So I think someone who is now a wellness and self-care, influencer, and again, I use that term very loosely. I think it's important to portray that self-care, like, it doesn't have to be, you need to go buy the expensive athletic leggings, or you need to have like a dedicated space. I think as long as you have the dedication up here, and I think if you're willing to make time, like, again, a good step is clean out your bedroom or clean out wherever it is that you're primarily at, and just set aside time. Maybe you meditate on your bed, or maybe you find a nice comfy spot on the floor, whatever that looks like for you to practice that self-care. Not everyone's gonna have like a jet jacuzzi where they go in and they light all these expensive candles from like Bed Bath and Beyond, and you know what I'm talking about. They get you with the self-care Friday, like I got like the $500 like face mask, and the glitter. I seen like a glitter golden 24 karat face pillow. Like, not the average person isn't gonna, you know what I mean? Like, the average person, the best thing they can go get is like a face mask from Five Below and make it work on a good day. So I think at all levels of where you're at, I guess my second tip is never be ashamed of where you're at, because you are at this stage in life, whether it's good or bad, you are here for a reason.
I like that.
And whatever stage you're in your life, it is never too late to start to practice wellness, to practice self-care. Like, listen, I'm a college student on a budget. So I make do, like, I have my crystals, I get my little $2 incense. Yeah, $2 incense. I don't be going out spending $40 and $50 for the premium incense, like, imported from a different country. And I don't go out and get, $100 worth of premium sage. That's not the average person. And honestly, those things don't make you a better spiritualist, or it's not going to make you like all of a sudden be a better person. You know what I mean? You meet yourself where you're at in your own journey. And I had to learn that, again, when I was a consumer instead of a content creator, I had to learn, like, I'm not sitting up on a Beverly Hills condo and looking out the skyrise and I got my little yoga mat there. That's not my life. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to learn how to meet myself where I'm at in my life and set my own affirmations and goals within me. Because what that other person is doing, that's their life, and whatever tips and tricks, what they're doing, they're meeting themselves at where they're at. I had to learn how to meet myself where I'm at to be a better me.
That's for everybody. Like, I want people to understand, yes, I am a doctor, right? And you would equate that to all of these lavish and hierarchies of self-care that cost all this money. Let's be real. On my journey of being a self-care expert, when I was actually doing research on my journey, I had to sit down with mental health practitioners, psychologists, social workers, mental health associates, whoever comes up under the umbrella as a mental health professional. They were a part of my research study. And I have had psychiatrists, when I sit down and ask them, what are you doing for your self-care? How are you balancing your self-care with your profession? And what is taking precedence in your life? Is it your profession or your self-care? I had psychiatrists who had been psychiatrists for many years, psychologists who had been psychologists for many years, start crying when I asked that question. And I'm not talking about like just little tears that you could just like wipe. I'm talking about full on bawling out, okay? And I say all that to say, when you get to certain levels in life, especially on your career journey, if you've worked so hard to become this psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever it is, you forget about self. You forget about the things that used to make you genuinely happy, whether that's seeing a fair, like a state fair off the highway and stopping and getting like an elephant ear and just walking around and talking to your people, stuff like that, that probably cost maybe $20, if that. You forget about those things and you start pouring all of you into your profession. You start pouring all of you into other people that at the end of the day, when you get home, you just happy to just lay down and close your eyes. A 24-karat mask. You ain't worried about none of that. You just worried about shutting your, like literally just laying in bed and shutting your eyes. And you're like, oh, thank you. So I say all that to say balance looks different for everybody. Everybody. And it doesn't matter if you are a multi-millionaire or a $2-naire. Okay, you got $2 in your pocket. Self-care is something that is universal. Self-care is happiness that is aligned to you. It could be, like I said, something as small as going to a state fair, getting an elephant ear, walking around with your people, getting on little amusement rides. Or it could be like Donald stated, you wake up in the morning, you like, I'm about to go to Five and Below, give me my little mask, I'm gonna come back, make me a steamy shower or bath, and just relax. It self-care, daily affirmations, however it is that you want to package it, it is all defined by you. So going back to my research, right? What I learned was that all self-care professionals, only thing that makes them happy, only thing that affirms them when they actually get to their self-care balance was just aligning it to loving on themselves and making themselves feel number one in that moment. So whatever it is that you do that makes you feel loved and number one in your life, that is what you have to do for your daily affirmation, for your balance and your self-care. It can be something as, oh, I'm going to go get my hair done every 2 weeks, or it can be something as, today I'm turning my phone off and it's Netflix and chill with me. I'm ordering pizza and chilling. Whatever it is that allows for you to feel affirmed, number one, and loved, that's what you do for your daily affirmation. That's what you do to align to your self-care. And that is what creates balance in your life. So says the self-care guru.
Oh God. Like I said, she's going to make that her brand. But just, building off of that and like you said, everything you said, perfect. Chef's kiss. Because again, it's truly at meeting yourself where you're at. And it's so crazy and messed up also that you've met with psychiatrists, psychologists, mental health professionals, people who have been in academia their whole lives, right? And then you get to that MD or PhD or masters or whatever higher ed graduate level you get to, you obtain, JD, and now you forget who you are because you spent so many years in school, you spent so many years trying to build up a career. You don't know who you are. Like I told myself when I started this journey on, being in school, I was like, I cannot forget about me. Because at the end of the day, you start out as you. And when you transition to the next life, that is you. So you start with you and you end with you. So it is very important. I say that because it's very important that you take the time for self-care. And self-care, again, looks different for everyone. There's no set kind of self-care. And again, seeing some of these influencers kind of portray like, oh, going to the gym every day. No shade to you, but going to the gym every day. I don't follow her on Instagram. This girl goes to the gym I can't even talk. I'm going to the gym at like 8 a.m. tomorrow. But, not everyone, you got to have access to, the best gym and Planet Fitness And like after they get from the gym, like they go get a kale salad, with a shot of kombucha and wheatgrass, and like I'm coming for a lot of people's brands right now.
You're coming for me, but I'm okay with it because that's what affirms Dr. Ebony Coleman. Okay, I'm cool with it.
Right, I'm just like, I'm saying this, I'm coming for a lot of people's brands, but I'm saying that to say that you don't have to be the one to go get that $10 wheatgrass shot or
Right.
that kale salad, but as long as you are doing things like we said earlier that are making you a better you and that you're working towards making yourself a better whole, right? Because you can't do nothing in life foundation within yourself. Because if you don't have that solid foundation within you, everything else is going to crumble. Your love life, your relationships, your professional life, because you didn't take the time to build a solid foundation, which is self-care and wellness.
That's
Y'all
so
think and you think it's just like, sitting there with your eyes closed and meditating for like 5 minutes, like,
right.
and for some people that is like that, but taking that 5 minutes, taking that 30 minutes, how long it takes for you to get you together, to remind yourself that at the end of the day, I am a person, I am beyond just these degrees, or I am beyond just this job. That is time, that is well spent time. So at the end, you don't have to sit back and be like, wow, all these years, like I just went from high school to college, to master's, doctoral, PhD, JD, MD, and then I worked 35, 45 years. And now it's like, okay, what, you're gonna spend the last of your golden years for self-care? Like that's not, personally, I don't subscribe to that. That's the American timeline, right? This whole, go to school, all right, undergrad's done, you go get a master's, you go get a bachelor, or, PhD, whatever it is, higher, get the graduate level, then you go get a career, then you work 35, 45, 50 years, and then, you're expected to just, be at this job, work hard, it's just work, 9 to 5. And, for some people, and I'm saying this with a grain of salt, if that makes you content, you do what makes you content. However, I think for a lot of us, especially, the younger generation, we don't want to necessarily subscribe to that, right? I don't want to be 55, 60, 65, just, okay, I'm retired and now I want to live my life. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to my family. That's not, that's just not fair. Again, you hold yourself, unless you believe in a higher power, it's your higher power, then it's yourself. And that's not fair to you to work all these years and now you want to spend whatever time you have left trying to live life. You're supposed to be living that now. So self-care now. Don't self-care later. Be like, oh, I'll meditate in 15 years when I got the time. No, make time now.
Yeah,
when you're done listening to this,
shows. It shows. It comes up. Like if you're not taking care of you, it shows. Oh my goodness, it shows.
Because just to finish what I was saying, like you were saying, it shows in your physical.
It does.
And I've had a lot of family members, a lot of older family members, and it took me getting grown. I use that term very loosely. I'm old. I'm not old yet, but it took me getting grown to realize that it shows when you don't love yourself. It shows when you're not taking care of yourself, and whether that be you're not eating right, you're not living right, you ain't. Your emotional isn't right, your mental isn't right, your spiritual isn't right. It reflects in your physical.
Yes.
Because your physical appearance and sometimes your physical health deteriorates when you aren't taking time for yourself. When you aren't, because your body is different facets to us. You have your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. And when one or more of those things are out of balance, then the whole foundation is through. It's like a cracked floor. If you're not working on trying to keep that floor balanced, then that whole first level of that house is through.
So true. I agree with you. And it just shows up in so many different ways, like you said, in the body. Like I've had so many people that DM me on Instagram, right? Because I'll post about my runs, I'll post about me eating healthy, whatever it is. And they're just like, I have like this fat on my stomach. Like I just can't get rid of it. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing all of this. And what I always align it to is, okay, so if you're doing all of these things, how is the stress level? What is antecedents in your life that could be causing you to be stressed out? Because what people don't realize is that top layer of fat, the hardest layer to get off once you put it on, is the cortisol. The cortisol is in direct alignment to stress. We call that stress fat. So if that is something that is hanging around and you're working out, you're eating right, you're doing all of these things, maybe we need to check in with the mental health. How is that relationship? Is it toxic? How is that job? Is it an opportunity, but it's stressful? How are your downtimes? Are you supposed to be giving self-care to you, but on the weekends when you're totally off, you have put in so many things to not feel lonely that you forget to rest? So I say all that to say, aligning it back to, and for people that are watching, I'm holding up my notebook. What are we doing for our daily affirmation? How are we self-caring that day so that we are every day pouring into ourselves? And in your daily affirmation, it can be something as simple as, I'm writing in here that I feel beautiful today, I feel loved today, I feel worth it today. And every day you write that down. Let's say Monday through Friday, that's what you do. And you reward yourself on Sunday by going to Popeye's Chicken, getting the 2-piece and a biscuit, because today you're going to reward yourself for affirming yourself every day. It can be that simple. It does not have to be. And I feel like you said, with social media, they just make it look like daily affirmations and affirming yourself has to be pricey or it has to look good. I'm telling you right now, for the people that look so packaged so well, sometimes those are the most internally broken people. I understand that it's always your due diligence to look your best. But if your insides is not a reflection of what you are packaging together, that mirage of looking all put together will only be able to conduct that way for so long. So what is it Lauryn Hill said? How you gonna win and you ain't right within? How you gonna win if you ain't right within? Come again. And I'm gonna keep saying that you're not gonna be able to win in nothing that you do in life if your mindset is not together. If your mindset is not focused on loving you, it's gonna be hard to pour into relationships love because you don't love within. If your body is not reflecting of abs or muscles and all of, let's look at what we're pouring into our mindsets, our self-care, our self-love. If you want your reflection of your life to be whatever it is that you want it to be, you have to look at that spiritual diet. You have to realize whatever you're saying to yourself will be becoming of who you are. Because at the end of the day, like Donald said, we go to sleep with our thoughts, we wake up with our thoughts. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm going to win, I'm beautiful today, I'm confident today, that's who you are. But on the end of the spectrum, if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm nervous, I'm scared, then if you're wondering why your life is a reflection of being timid, we have to look at what we're saying to ourselves. So that's just my rant, I guess, on that.
Yes, and that is a beautiful segue, and we've hit the 5-minute mark, y'all. All of us we gotta wrap up. I know last week's episode, was very long, but it was, again, if you haven't watched that episode, please go check that episode out. I think, and I say that with every guest we have on here, that has to be one of my top 3 episodes we've done thus far. And I'll say that when we have other guests on. Y'all don't believe me, I love all of our episodes, but truly the guest episodes Are very insightful. Like I said, if you have not checked that episode out already, please go check that out now. It is available on all streaming platforms. I still be geeked when I say that.
Me
Like,
too.
we had struggles with Apple for a minute, but when we got that out, we could really say we are available on all streaming platforms. So just to kind of wrap up my thoughts, again, self-care and wellness starts with you. So figure out what are the things that you could do that you can meet yourself at where you're at to make yourself a greater person. And every day, like, you can't solve poverty overnight. You can't solve hunger overnight. These are things that you constantly have to build upon every day. And you, as the individual, need to make that commitment to yourself, saying, like, go in the mirror, or go on, get your Snapchat ready, or whatever it is you got to do, and be like, I am making a commitment to myself to be a better person. I think that would be a beautiful start. Again, everyone's affirmation is different, but I think that would be a beautiful start on your journey to daily affirmations. Just go in the mirror and look at yourself, and like, I'm making a promise to myself that each and every day I'm going to work on being a better me. I'm gonna make my own self tear. Look at that.
Yes, I
It's a
love
powerful, it's a very powerful statement. I think that statement right there alone will jumpstart you into that wellness journey, because wellness is literally building upon ourselves, building that foundation for ourselves before anyone else. It's ourselves, because, like we stated earlier, you go to sleep with your thoughts, you wake up with your thoughts. You came into this life with you. You will transition out of this life with you. And if you don't take care of yourself, like being on that spiritual diet, I gotta use that. I gotta use that. That's one thing I'm gonna have to. I'm a thief in the night. I gotta.
Hey.
Right. Right. And y'all, also, my little wrap up. This is the second episode she done started singing on here, and YouTube gonna copyright us because y'all know she got vocals, she got pipes, and she can sing these songs good enough. They're gonna copyright us. So for the sake of it, I'm gonna need you to be a little off key, just so the algorithm can't be like, yeah, we can't give you no money because are you an artist? So all jokes aside, just my final thoughts. Meet yourself where you're at, and I challenge everyone ending this episode just again with the boundaries. So go back. I know some of y'all probably wasn't really paying attention in the beginning, but go back into the beginning when we're talking about boundaries. Look at what boundaries do you have, what boundaries do you think you need to set, and if you don't really have boundaries, look at different ways and methods that you can create that space for yourself, because that's all boundary setting is saying to yourself, I am creating space for me, and this is space dedicated that I'm going to take for myself. And coming from an introverted Libra, I'll be needing that space because Libras were people pleasers.
Yep.
We can't have that scale because we're the scales, baby. We can't have them scales tipping. And I'm an introvert. So y'all imagine the internal struggle I'll be facing, trying to people please, but also be having boundaries for me.
Yep. I understand. That's why I spoke on the boundaries. It's so important. It's okay to sometimes be flexible with your boundaries, but when you're too flexible and you're starting to realize you're pouring more into people than that you have in the cup to pour from, that's when you need to start becoming a little rigid with your boundaries and really sitting down and analyzing what are some boundaries you can be flexible on and still go on and feel good about you, and which ones you can't. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to leave you guys with risk versus reward. When you are looking at daily affirmation, it is okay to realize, yes, you are risking feeling uncomfortable right now because you are going into spaces in 2021 that is so different than back in 2019, 2018, before we were experiencing COVID-19. But you have to understand that you are worth the reward. So step into that new job opportunity, head held high. Step into that love relationship and feel that you are worth being loved without being loved with toxicity. Step into the ownership of defining your new career opportunity. If you are a boss, because now you have opened up your own online business, step into that title with your head held high. When you every day write in your daily affirmation, whatever this new role is that you feel risky about, you write it down. You say, I am worth it. I am powerful. And my higher power has aligned me to be this because I can do this. And at the end of that week, after you've poured and poured and poured into whatever it is that you have stepped into, make sure you reward yourself because no risk goes without a reward. So that is how I would love to end today's podcast.
Yes, and I thought I was powerful. Child, she just always just feel the spotlight. Just whenever I be thinking, I be having my little moment, like my little quote of the month moment. She just come right on in and just drop something. I'm convinced that she just be like, okay, I'm gonna see what he gonna say, and then let me find something more powerful than that.
But I told y'all it's always sibling rivalry. It's 7 of us, y'all. If you guys have never tuned in and heard us talk about it, it is 7 siblings. Donald is my youngest sibling, okay? I am the eldest out of 7. So can y'all imagine? I have had to go through this with 6 other people. They love me though. They just love me hard, man. They be challenging me each and every way, but it's cool because every diamond has to be pressured.
You know, I think that's where we're gonna end because this one, y'all, I love doing this podcast, but I can't with her. Sometimes I just be like, yeah, she really getting into it, and then she just gotta say it like that. She gotta just end it like that. So I just want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. We have been seeing the love y'all have been dropping on us.
For sure.
Y'all, we check these analytics. We know that y'all moving with us, and we really appreciate it. Keep the momentum up. Like I said, we have a ton of interesting, fun talks planned. So please stay tuned. If you are watching this on YouTube, I will repeat again. If you are watching this on the YouTube, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button. If you did not take us from red to gray on that subscribe button, you a fake fan. And we can't. we love everyone, but the fake fans, just subscribe. It is literally free. Yeah. The next thing I'm gonna need y'all to do, because we love steps, like us, share us on all your social media platforms. And make sure, well, I already said make sure you hit that bell icon too, because like I said, you will get a personal notification whenever we drop an episode. I know Apple does that as well. If you subscribe to us over there, you will get a quick link to our episode whenever we drop it. We drop episodes at 11 a.m. on Monday when things are right. So I will tell all of you guys to expect an episode anytime between 11 and 1. But we've been doing good on that. Yeah. So 11 a.m. has always been our flagship time. So 11 a.m. on Mondays, that's just enough time you're waking up. Well, I hope you're waking up at least a little bit earlier on Monday. But, whatever time that you get your energies aligned for the day, just, put on your headphones, get out your Martha Stewart cooking book and, just cooking book. Oh my God, so Southern. Whatever you are doing for that day, and just tune in and listen because we be having some interesting conversations on.
Yes, and make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at unapologetically_Coleman and on, like Donald said, our YouTube channel, Unapologetic Conversations with the Comans.
Yes, and then I'm gonna let you plug yourself one more time on that website because we can never have a proper outro without that. So
I really appreciate that so much. As you guys know, I am a psychologist trained in forensics. I did start my own personal wellness consulting, coaching, academic mentorship, fitness wear line, and wellness ebooks. All of that is available on drebonycoleman.com. In the event that you do want to follow me on Instagram, I am at Dr. Ebony Coleman on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yes, and y'all make sure to like keep up because I believe you have an emailing list on the website. So
Yes.
Yep. Oh, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that, and make sure you follow her on Instagram because I know she be posting hidden stuff on there too about the website.
I do.
You know, she may be having some upcoming sales, some new merch coming out. You know, I can't tell y'all because it's top secret, you know. And I think she might actually sue me over that because, you know, business and trademark and all. But I know she has a bunch of things coming out in the works. So make sure you follow that and stay tuned. That's all I got to say.
Stay tuned.
We got to keep it on the hush hush for now. But y'all stay tuned and stay tuned with the podcast. Seriously, we have some very interesting guests come on the show, and y'all, we love having guests on the show. It's very interesting and dynamic to have these conversations with y'all. So that's all I'm gonna leave y'all with. Y'all just have to keep coming back for more. That is Dr. E. I am Donald Coleman, and this has been the Unapologetic Conversations with the Coleman.
Yes.
Powerful.
Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all. See y'all in the next episode.